Every September, York University welcomes thousands of incoming students into the university's big hallways and lecture halls. As one of the largest universities in North America, it's normal for students to feel a bit anxious and overwhelmed while embarking on this new stage in their lives.
Getting used to a new place takes time, and I'm sure many of you might be confused as to what this new experience will bring. To help you with this transition, we here at Founders College thought we would get some of our alumni to share their experiences with you.
How would you describe your transition from high school to post-secondary?
It was interesting. You get a sense of freedom that you don't normally have because I came from Ottawa to Toronto, so you're leaving your parents for the first time, you're just trying to get on your own, just trying to discover yourself.
The transition was pretty good because a lot of my high school friends came to the same university as me because I happened to go to high school nearby. So I kept a lot of those friends and I was very comfortable. But at the same time, I didn't feel as though maybe I had been completely immersing myself in the university experience because I was staying within my comfort zone. It was a good year, but I didn't really feel as though I had actually, accepted and embraced the whole university atmosphere.
What advice can you share with new Founders students to aid them with their own transition from high school to York?
Get involved, know what's available to you, and to use it to your potential. A lot of the time, students don't realize how many things are available for them. To be honest, the first 2 weeks of school, you probably don't even have to bring a lunch because there are so many events going on that provide food, where you can get to know people, but this is stuff you'll get to know the more you get involved.
Thinking back to your own first year at York, what were some of the problems you faced and how did you overcome them?
One of the problems I faced was I couldn't find a space that was comfortable and open to just socializing. I had a lot of difficulty with that. I wouldn't know where to, let's say, hang out or even go eat my food. I mean, the cafeterias were great, but they were really noisy, and I wanted to have a more social experience, and I couldn't really find that, and I was always just kind of wandering around with people, just sitting on random benches, and it wasn't very enjoyable. It just made me want to go home more. I resolved the issue when I eventually found out that there were lounges with colleges where you could hang out. So, for example, I found the Founders College Lounge, and I saw that it was a place where people could go eat, socialize, and meet new people, and even do some other activities such as play foosball or watch movies and things like that. And that was really enjoyable because it helped me find somewhere to go during my break time, as prior I had just been lounging around on benches and stuff with friends, and it wasn't as enjoyable of an experience.
In my first year at York, I was a commuter student, and I found that was a bit challenging because there's so much on campus that is available to students. So what I did to kind of overcome that challenge is, I got involved in the student government on campus, which kind of forced me to be on campus and be planning events and really get into the thick of things. So even though I was commuting, I didn't feel removed from what was happening on campus.
Well, with that sense of freedom, you also got to learn self-control, because you can't just go out, party all the time. You gotta kind of organize yourself to study, have time for friends, have time to be social, but you gotta know when enough is enough in any particular thing.
If you could go back and change any part of your first year university experience, what would it be and how would you change it?
I guess I'm lucky in that I don't really have any regrets. From my first year, I made an effort to get involved, and it was an effort because I was commuting at the time, but it paid off tenfold for me. So my first year was phenomenal. There were the transition issues at the very beginning in August, September, sure, but because I got involved and got to know people on campus, it was smooth sailing.
The academic differences between high school and university are probably the most difficult to overcome. As a university student, you're responsible for your own studies. You have to take the initiative for your own academic success.
Don't panic. Even though there is emphasis placed on your personal responsibility to achieve your academic goals, there are many programs and services ready to help students become successful. These include academic advising, the Writing Center, counseling and disability services, as well as Founders College resources such as Central Park, our peer advising resource center.
So don't take our word for it. Let's hear what our alumni have to say. So Seraphim, did you take advantage of any of their resources at Founders? Stuff like our Writing Center, Counseling and Disability Services, or even Central Park?
Actually, yes, I did. I used the academic advising resources we had at Founders for asking questions about courses, and it helped me because I didn't have to wait as long as I would have had I gone to York's actual academic advising center. So because I just went straight to the Founders academic advisor, I was able to book an appointment and do everything quicker and get the information back quicker. So I was able to just follow through on the process altogether in a much more convenient way.
Do you have any tips and advice for first-year students to help them with their studies?
Honestly, time management. I think that's a big problem that everybody has, because in high school, you're sort of given a set schedule to work with. In university, you have a lot of free time. So it was really hard for me to sort of sit down and plan everything ahead because I wasn't used to it. But once you sort of meet up with the older students, especially through Frosh Week, you get a sense of how they do their scheduling, how they go about their day. So of course you can't copy somebody's methods, but you'll develop your own.
When it comes to books, sometimes you don't need that brand new book, and if you buy it used, and even if it's a version before, the material is almost exactly the same. So that's something definitely to look at and talk, and you can purchase them on book sharing websites, through the bookstore itself, through used books, and just so many other different avenues.
Just like high school, university life isn't only about your studies. There are a lot of activities and events to get involved with, and that's especially true about Founders. Founders College offers the most diverse range of events than any other college at York. So why not participate in Founders events?
Being involved in your college is not mandatory, but it has a significant impact on a successful first year. It's an opportunity to connect with students, professors, and staff. It's also a chance to make new friends from the college and enjoy all the activities and events that Founders College has to offer you.
Did you participate or attend events held by Founders College during your time at York?
Yeah, I think I've attended a lot of events. I can't even keep track of how many events I've attended. I've taken advantage of a lot of events because what people don't know is part of your tuition goes towards your student council, and then they throw events that are subsidized. And a lot of people don't take advantage of that, and I really, really recommend that you take advantage of those events because they are great events. Student council works hard for those events, and you'll have an amazing time. You'll meet great people.
Absolutely. When I started here in third year, it was just everything. I started with intramural sports. That was huge for my development. And from there, I met everybody, all the students from Founders, gained relationships with friends. I ended up going to multiple trips, such as Blue Mountain, a Montreal trip. I was a Frosh boss. I helped new students come in.
How did your involvement with the Founders community enrich your university experience?
You get a sense of growth that you wouldn't normally have just coming to any university in the world on your own, because there's only so much you can learn in the classroom that you can't quite take if you don't get out there, meet people, get new ideas, just experience life for what it is.
I started getting involved with school in general. I thought that school was really dry, really boring, and I counted down the days to graduation. And once I started getting more involved, I said I didn't want to count down to the days I graduated from school. I was kind of sad. I thought I was going to miss it a lot, and I do.
Did you find that participating in events outside the classroom was a great way of making new friends and building a support system outside the classroom?
Absolutely. I would encourage it to every single incoming student coming here to York University, even if you're working a job or two. Find a little bit of time to come to an event, whether it's a big event like a formal at the end of the year, or whether it's a small event like a coffee house where you can see some live performances by different students, whether they're actually a music student or whether, that's their interest in. And you'd actually really be surprised about how much fun and how many new people you would meet by doing it.
In what ways has being involved in the college impacted you?
I think it's impacted me greatly. Especially thinking of my development as a person itself, my ability not only to deal with the academic side of things, which really helps when you're taking part in events, but my own personal development when it comes to organization, when it comes to management, for example, when it comes to organizing events. It's really a neat experience and a great experience to be able to take part in that. And I mean, I look at myself now, 6 years removed, I guess, from when I was a first year, and now I've graduated. I'm still here around the campus working. I'm a much better person, I would say, for it, and I think it was excellent.
As a Founders College student, you are now part of the most dynamic, diverse, and engaging college at York. Being a part of Founders and participating in all that Founders College has to offer can help you during your time at York and beyond, especially when you graduate and move on to the next phase of your life. How do you think your university experience would have been had you not been involved with Founders?
I definitely think that I would have left Founders not knowing how many different things that were available, how many different people I could have met, how many good friends that I've made because I've gotten involved would have passed by, and I would have never known. So it's definitely something that allowed me to know my strengths and weaknesses, made myself a better person, made myself a better person for the community as well.
Well, had I not been involved with Founders, I don't think I would have enjoyed my university experience very much. I probably would have had a different opinion on York University as a whole. I would have told people that it was not very fun, and I just pretty much went there just to get my degree and that's it. But because I joined Founders College and I became part of the community as a whole, it changed my whole experience because I was not wanting to go home at the end of the day when I was done class. I actually wanted to stay and hang out with people and talk to them and just make new friends and even enjoy all the events and activities that they had going around the community. And it made me want to go to school in the morning when I woke up rather than just dread it and want to just go home the moment I got the chance.
How did being involved in the Founders community help you in your transition to life after university?
It helped out because it gave you a lot of people skills. Everybody's just so friendly, and you just were able to merge right out of university straight into workforce, and it was an easy transition.
As you can probably tell, we think that Founders College is the best place to be at York. The fellows, the college, the staff, and student council all work together to make Founders College a great place, whether it's to study, to make new friends, participate in fun or interesting events, or even just simply to hang out. In fact, some of your best university memories will be made here at Founders College. What do you love most about Founders College?
Founders is more than just a building. Founders is a community, it's a family, and when I think Founders, I think unity. Founders was an amazing experience. Now that I've graduated, I could look back and see on how I developed in Founders, how I've become a part of society. And it was a great experience. It was a very good experience. Without it, I don't know where I would be because it taught me a lot. It taught me how to manage my time. It taught me how to be sociable with people.
I did love the sense of community and the sense that everyone's always there to support everyone else, whether it's I need help with finding books or I need help getting around campus, I need help with a particular subject, because you're often going to find other people in Founders taking similar courses. They're more than willing to give you advice, friendly tips, how to make yourself better.
What is your favorite Founders memory?
There isn't one memory that I could really pick. I've had so many great memories here, and I won't do justice just to pick one memory because I had an amazing time here. Every year there's standout moments where I've had and I wish I could relive, but that's part of life. You move on, and that's the best thing, that you get to carry those memories with you for the rest of your life.
Would you encourage Frosh to become involved at Founders?
I think one of the biggest mistakes a first-year student can make is not getting involved. You pay all this money to get your education, but what people don't understand, this money also helps you develop socially. If you don't get involved at these events, you will have the time of your life. I know that's very cheesy, that's very cliche, but you will have the time of your life. There's still days where me and my friends still talk about what we did in our Frosh Week. We still talk about the ski trips. We still talk about Montreal trips, Niagara trips.
In closing, we'd like our alumni to share one final thought. If they could describe Founders in one word, what would it be?
Definitely fun.
Awesome.
Growth.
All the time was unity.
Humbling.
Amazing.
Unforgettable.
It's life-changing. That's what it is.